Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract success, happiness, and opportunities almost effortlessly, while others struggle no matter how hard they try? It might look like luck from the outside, but what if the real difference lies somewhere much deeper, somewhere invisible yet incredibly powerful? What if the answers you've been searching for are already inside you, quietly shaping your life every single day? Today, we're diving into one of the most life-changing ideas ever written about: the incredible power of your subconscious mind. This isn't just another self-help concept or motivational talk. This is about understanding the hidden force within you that influences your thoughts, your habits, your decisions, and ultimately your entire reality. Whether you realize it or not, your subconscious mind is always at work, like a silent partner, recording everything you believe and turning those beliefs into your everyday experiences. Think about it for a moment. Have you ever reacted to something without even thinking? Or felt stuck in patterns you couldn't explain? That's your subconscious mind in action. It stores your deepest beliefs, your fears, your past experiences, and even the stories you tell yourself about who you are. And the most fascinating part? It doesn't judge or question what you feed it. It simply accepts it as truth and works tirelessly to make it real. In this video, we're going to explore how this hidden part of your mind actually works and how you can begin to take control of it instead of letting it control you. Because once you understand this, everything starts to shift. The way you think, the way you feel, and the way you respond to life begins to change. And when that happens, your results change too. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Can it really be that simple? Can changing your thoughts truly change your life? The answer isn't about quick fixes or overnight miracles. It's about awareness. It's about realizing that the patterns you've been living with aren't permanent. They've been learned, and anything that's learned can be unlearned or replaced. That's where the real power lies. Imagine being able to reprogram your mind for confidence instead of doubt, for abundance instead of scarcity, for calm instead of constant stress. Imagine waking up every day with a sense of control, knowing that you're not just reacting to life, but actively shaping it. That's exactly what this book teaches. And that's what we're going to break down together in a simple, clear, and practical way. As we move forward, you'll start to notice how small shifts in your thinking can create big changes in your life. You'll see how your inner dialogue affects your outer world, and how aligning your conscious goals with your subconscious beliefs can unlock a level of potential you may not even realize you have. So if you've ever felt stuck, uncertain, or like there's more to life than what you're currently experiencing, you're in the right place. This isn't just about learning something new. It's about seeing yourself in a completely different way. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Let's begin this journey into your mind and discover the power that's been within you all along. Have you ever felt like there's more to you than what you show the world every day? Like beneath your thoughts, your routines, and your daily struggles, there's a deeper force quietly influencing everything you do? In this first chapter, we begin by understanding that hidden force, the subconscious mind, and how it plays a far bigger role in your life than you may have ever imagined. Your conscious mind is the part of you that thinks, analyzes, and makes decisions. It's the voice you hear when you're planning your day or solving a problem. But your subconscious mind, that's something entirely different. It's always working in the background, silently recording everything you experience, every belief, every emotion, every repeated thought. And over time, it takes all of that information and turns it into patterns that shape your behavior and your reality. Think of your subconscious mind like fertile soil. Whatever you plant in it, whether it's positive or negative, will grow. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, that you'll never succeed, or that life is unfair, your subconscious accepts those ideas as truth. It doesn't question them. It doesn't argue. It simply works to make those beliefs real in your life. And that's why so many people feel stuck. Not because they lack ability, but because they've unknowingly programmed their minds with limitations. But here's the part that changes everything. If your subconscious mind can be programmed negatively, it can also be reprogrammed positively. The same power that holds you back can also push you forward. The difference lies in awareness and intention. Once you become conscious of the thoughts you're feeding your mind, you begin to take control of what grows within you. This chapter invites you to look at your inner world with honesty. What are the beliefs you carry about yourself? About money, success, relationships, or happiness? Many of these beliefs were formed years ago, through childhood experiences, societal influences, or repeated failures. And over time, they became so familiar that you stopped questioning them. They became your normal. But normal doesn't always mean true. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination. It responds to what you consistently think and feel. That's why visualization, affirmations, and emotional repetition are so powerful. When you imagine success vividly and repeatedly, your subconscious begins to accept it as possible. And once it accepts it, your actions, decisions, and opportunities start to align with that belief. It's important to understand that this isn't about pretending everything is perfect or ignoring real challenges. It's about shifting your internal narrative. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," you begin to say, "I'm learning how to do this." Instead of focusing on fear, you begin to focus on possibility. These small shifts might seem simple, but over time, they create profound changes in how your mind operates. Another powerful idea in this chapter is that your subconscious mind works best when it's given clear, consistent direction. Vague thoughts produce vague results. But when you repeatedly focus on a specific goal, combined with emotion and belief, your subconscious starts working toward it in ways you might not even notice at first. You begin to see opportunities you once overlooked. You start making choices that align with your desired outcome. It's not magic, it's alignment. As you move forward from this chapter, remember that the relationship between your conscious and subconscious mind is like a partnership. Your conscious mind chooses the thoughts, and your subconscious mind brings them to life. If you change what you choose to think, you change what your subconscious creates. This is where your transformation begins, not outside, but within. We explored the idea that your subconscious mind is always at work, quietly shaping your reality based on the thoughts and beliefs you feed it. Now, in this chapter, we take that understanding a step deeper, because it's not just that your subconscious influences your life. It actually creates the patterns that define it. Take a moment and think about your daily life. The way you react to situations, the choices you make, the habits you repeat. Most of these don't come from careful, conscious thinking. They come automatically. You don't sit down and analyze how to respond every time something happens. You just react. And those reactions are driven by your subconscious programming. Your subconscious mind is like a script that's been written over years, sometimes without your awareness. Every experience you've had, every emotion you've felt strongly, every belief you've repeated, these have all contributed to that script. And now your life is playing out according to it. That's why two people can face the exact same situation and respond in completely different ways. One person sees an opportunity, while the other sees a risk. One feels confident while the other feels fear. The difference isn't the situation itself, it's the subconscious beliefs each person carries into it. This chapter helps you recognize that your reality is not just happening to you. It's being filtered and shaped from within you. If deep down you believe that success is hard, that money is difficult to earn, or that you're not capable enough, those beliefs will quietly influence your actions. You might hesitate when an opportunity appears. You might procrastinate without understanding why, or you might give up just when things start to get challenging. From the outside, it may look like circumstances are the problem, but in reality, it's the internal programming that's guiding your behavior. And here's something even more powerful to understand. Your subconscious mind doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you believe is true. You can consciously say, "I want to be successful," but if your subconscious holds on to doubt or fear, those deeper beliefs will win every time. It's like trying to drive forward while pressing the brake at the same time. No matter how much effort you put in, you won't move smoothly toward your goal. This is why awareness is so important. You have to begin noticing the patterns in your life without immediately judging them. Where do you keep getting stuck? What kind of thoughts show up again and again? What do you automatically assume about yourself or your future? These patterns are clues. They reveal what's stored in your subconscious mind. Once you start noticing them, you gain something incredibly valuable: choice. Instead of running on autopilot, you begin to pause and question those automatic responses. You start to ask yourself, is this belief actually helping me, or is it holding me back? And this is where change begins, not by forcing yourself to act differently on the surface, but by gently reshaping the beliefs underneath. One way to begin this process is through repetition and emotional focus. Your subconscious learns through what is repeated consistently, especially when it's connected with strong feeling. That means the thoughts you think most often, combined with the emotions you feel, are the ones that get programmed the deepest. So if you constantly worry, doubt, or expect the worst, you're reinforcing those patterns. But if you intentionally focus on confidence, possibility, and growth, even if it feels unfamiliar at first, you begin planting new seeds in your subconscious. At first, it might feel unnatural. That's okay. You're not trying to convince yourself overnight. You're simply introducing a new direction. And over time, with patience and consistency, that new direction becomes your new normal. As you move through this chapter, start to see your life not as a fixed reality, but as a reflection of your inner world. The patterns you've been living with are not permanent. They're changeable. And once you understand that, you stop feeling powerless. Because now, you're not just living your life. You're learning how to reshape it from the inside out. By now, you've begun to understand that your subconscious mind is always active, shaping your habits, reactions, and the patterns of your life. In this chapter, we go even deeper into something truly fascinating: the way your subconscious mind actually listens to you, because it doesn't respond to logic the way your conscious mind does. Instead, it understands a different language entirely, a language made of images, emotions, and repetition. Think about how often you talk to yourself throughout the day, not out loud, but in your thoughts. That constant inner dialogue, what you say about yourself, your situation, your future. This is the primary way you communicate with your subconscious mind. And here's the important part: your subconscious is always listening. It takes those repeated thoughts and treats them as instructions. If you keep telling yourself, "I'm not confident," "I always fail," or "things never work out for me," your subconscious doesn't question it. It doesn't pause and ask if that's really true. It simply accepts those statements and begins to reinforce them. It shapes your feelings, your reactions, and even your decisions to match that internal message. But the same principle works in your favor when you learn how to use it consciously. Your subconscious mind responds strongly to vivid mental images. When you imagine something clearly, especially if you attach emotion to it, it begins to register that image as something real. This is why visualization is such a powerful tool. When you repeatedly picture yourself succeeding, growing, or achieving your goals, your subconscious starts to align your behavior with that vision. It's not about pretending or escaping reality. It's about giving your mind a new reference point, a new possibility to move toward. Emotions play an equally powerful role. Your subconscious mind is deeply influenced by how you feel. In fact, emotions act like a signal that tells your mind, "This is important. Pay attention to this." That's why experiences that carry strong emotions, whether positive or negative, tend to stay with you for a long time. They leave a deeper imprint. So when you combine clear thoughts with strong positive emotions, you create a powerful message for your subconscious. For example, instead of simply saying, "I want to be successful," you begin to feel what success would be like. You imagine the confidence, the freedom, the satisfaction. That emotional connection strengthens the belief you're building. Another key part of this language is repetition. Your subconscious learns through consistency. One positive thought won't instantly change your life, just like one negative thought didn't create your current patterns. It's the thoughts you repeat daily that shape your mindset over time. This means you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. You begin to gently replace old, limiting thoughts with new, empowering ones. Not by forcing them, but by practicing them regularly. Over time, the new thoughts start to feel more natural. They begin to take root. It's also important to be mindful of what you expose your mind to. The conversations you have, the content you consume, the environment you're in, all of these send signals to your subconscious. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity, doubt, or fear, it becomes much harder to build a positive internal message. But when you intentionally choose inputs that support growth, confidence, and possibility, you make that process easier. As you move through this chapter, start to notice the way you speak to yourself. Pay attention to the images you hold in your mind and the emotions you attach to them. Because whether you realize it or not, you are constantly communicating with your subconscious. The question is, are you giving it instructions that limit you, or ones that move you forward? Once you become aware of this inner language, you gain a powerful ability, the ability to guide your mind instead of being guided by it. And that's where real transformation begins. Up to this point, you've discovered how your subconscious mind works, how it shapes your reality, and how it responds to the language of thoughts, images, and emotions. Now comes one of the most important parts of this journey, learning how to consciously reprogram your subconscious mind so it starts working for you instead of against you. Because let's be honest, knowing all of this is powerful, but if nothing changes in your daily life, it remains just an idea. Real transformation begins when you start applying these principles in a consistent and intentional way. The truth is, your subconscious mind has already been programmed. Every belief you carry today, whether it empowers you or limits you, was built over time through repetition and experience. And for many people, a lot of that programming happened without awareness. It came from childhood, from society, from past failures, and from the opinions of others. But here's the good news. What has been programmed can be reprogrammed. And it doesn't require anything complicated. It requires clarity, consistency, and patience. The first step is becoming very clear about what you actually want to change. Not in a vague way, but in a specific and meaningful way. Instead of saying, "I want a better life," you begin to define what better actually means to you. Is it confidence, financial growth, peace of mind, stronger relationships? The clearer you are, the clearer the message you send to your subconscious. Once you have that clarity, the next step is to begin introducing new beliefs that support that vision. This is where affirmations come into play, but not the kind you repeat mindlessly. Effective affirmations are believable, emotionally engaging, and consistent. For example, if saying, "I am extremely successful" feels too far from your current reality, you might begin with something like, "I am becoming more confident and capable every day." It feels more natural, and your mind is more willing to accept it. Over time, as that belief strengthens, you can expand it further. But words alone are not enough. Remember, your subconscious responds strongly to emotion and imagery. So as you repeat these new beliefs, you also begin to feel them. You imagine yourself living that reality. You connect with the experience as if it's already starting to happen. This combination, clear intention, repeated thought, and emotional connection, is what begins to shift your internal programming. Another powerful technique is visualization. Taking just a few minutes each day to mentally picture your desired outcome can have a deep impact. You're not just daydreaming, you're training your mind to recognize a new possibility. You're creating familiarity with a version of yourself that may have once felt out of reach. And the more familiar something feels, the more achievable it becomes. It's also important to understand that reprogramming your mind doesn't mean you'll never have negative thoughts again. That's not realistic. What changes is your relationship with those thoughts. Instead of automatically believing them, you begin to observe them, you question them, and most importantly, you choose whether to reinforce them or replace them. That choice is your power. Consistency is where most people struggle. It's easy to feel motivated for a day or two, But lasting change comes from showing up even when it feels repetitive or slow. Think of it like building a muscle. You don't see results instantly, but with regular practice, strength develops over time. Your mind works the same way. Small daily efforts, your thoughts, your focus, your awareness, gradually reshape your subconscious patterns. And one day, you begin to notice something different. Your reactions change. Your confidence grows. Opportunities feel more natural to pursue. Not because the world suddenly changed, but because you did. As you move forward from this chapter, remember that reprogramming your subconscious mind is not about becoming someone else. It's about removing the limitations that have been holding you back and allowing your true potential to come forward. And that process starts with what you choose to think, again and again every single day. As you reach this final chapter, something important should feel different. Not just in what you've learned, but in how you see yourself. Because by now, you understand that your subconscious mind is not some distant, mysterious force. It's a living part of you, always active, always listening, always shaping your reality based on what you consistently think, feel, and believe. And this chapter is where everything comes together. This is about stepping into the realization that the power you've been searching for externally has been within you all along. Not as a concept, but as something you can actually use every single day of your life. The truth is, most people go through life reacting to circumstances, to problems, to other people's expectations. They wait for the right time, the right opportunity, or the right conditions before they allow themselves to feel confident, successful, or fulfilled. But what you've discovered through this journey is that it works the other way around. Your inner world creates your outer experience. When your subconscious mind is aligned with beliefs of growth, possibility, and self-trust, your actions begin to reflect that. You take chances you once avoided. You speak with more clarity. You handle challenges with a different mindset. And slowly, the results in your life begin to match that internal shift. This doesn't mean life becomes perfect. Challenges will still come. There will still be moments of doubt, uncertainty, and difficulty. But the difference now is how you respond. Instead of feeling controlled by those moments, you begin to move through them with awareness. You understand that a single negative thought doesn't define you unless you choose to hold on to it. That awareness gives you a sense of control, not over everything that happens, but over how you interpret and respond to it. And that, in itself, is a form of freedom. One of the most powerful realizations in this chapter is that your potential is not fixed. It's not limited by your past, your current situation, or the beliefs you've carried until now. Those were patterns, learned, repeated, and reinforced over time. And just as they were created, they can be changed. When you begin to consistently feed your subconscious mind with thoughts of possibility, confidence, and purpose, you start to unlock parts of yourself that may have been hidden for years. Talents you never explored, strengths you never trusted, opportunities you once ignored. It's not about becoming someone new. It's about becoming more of who you already are beneath the conditioning. And perhaps the most important part of all of this is responsibility. Not in a heavy or overwhelming way, but in an empowering one. Because once you understand how your mind works, you can no longer say, "This is just how I am," or "Nothing will ever change." You begin to see that you have influence over your direction. Every thought you choose to repeat, every belief you decide to strengthen, every moment you become aware instead of reactive, all of these shape your path forward. It's a quiet kind of power, not loud or dramatic, but steady and consistent. As you move beyond this chapter and into your daily life, remember that change doesn't come from a single moment of inspiration. It comes from what you do after that moment. It comes from the small choices you make when no one is watching, the thoughts you allow, the focus you maintain, the beliefs you continue to build. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to stay aware of the direction you're moving in. because your subconscious mind will continue to work, just as it always has. The only difference now is that you're no longer leaving it on autopilot. You're guiding it. And when you truly understand that, you begin to realize something powerful. There are far fewer limits than you once believed.